Good day everybody, this is Pillar from Tales Productions and welcome back to Star Trek Online. This is a free-to-play account playing through a 23rd Century Starfleet officer storyline, and we have just completed the Klingon War. So what I'd like to do now is just take a few minutes and not waste too much of your time and do a little bit of a review about my thoughts about the Klingon War and just the beginning of Star Trek Online as a free-to-play player. So I think the very first thing I'd like to discuss is the storyline. Because I personally think that's possibly the main draw to Star Trek Online, because massive Star Trek fans generally will be the ones wanting to play the game, and the story is what gets them into that, so that should bring them to Star Trek Online too. And I would like to say, I didn't do a review of Agents of Yesterday, which was before the Klingon War, but I think that was a particularly strong series of quests, or missions, or episodes, whatever you want to call them. So very, very happy with the Agents of Yesterday. The Klingon War, I think, started well. I think it was good for up to diplomatic orders, definitely, and then got a little bit weaker for all the way through. Kuvamar was alright, nothing special, not too bad. All the way through to Task Force Hippocrates. Kuvamar was good though, but yeah, generally they were just a little bit weaker. It wasn't a very sort of solid storyline. I liked how diplomatic orders brought in an Undine, because that's sort of, as a Star Trek fan, you would know that they're quite a big enemy and like someone that you might think is even going to be an endgame sort of race to fight against. And you get to see them so early on, it makes you feel stronger than you are. And I liked that. That was good. And also at the end of that, I think you talked to Geordi LaForge, which was a really good moment. I enjoyed that a lot. But then it does get a little bit weaker. Not just, possibly just parts of the story that I thought were a little bit unexplained. I think it was Secret Orders, for instance, that didn't make much sense story-wise. You guys obviously might not agree with that, but I just think that's where Bhavat, I think, is it Bhavat actually at that point? I don't know. That's where Bhavat has his secret base. And it's a completely secret base, and it's very important that it remains a secret because it needs to evacuate a bunch of stuff before you get told about it. So it makes no sense that he would plant information on somebody to tell you where the secret base is as a trap. So firstly, if you're going to lay a trap for somebody, you don't lay it at your secret base. Like, your secret base should stay secret. And if you're going to abandon the secret base and then lay the trap, don't tell them about it until you're abandoned and you've left already. It opens up far too much. It made no sense, I thought. But I don't think that's a particularly strong negative against it. Personally, I didn't think the story made sense, but some people would just accept that and think that's fine. So I don't think that's too bad a thing. I just think generally the story from diplomatic orders, from hide and seek through to the Task Force Hippocrates, I think that was a little bit weak. But then it gets super strong. Starting with Skirmish, the Davidian sort of series, going all the way through to Night of the Comet. Super strong, brilliant series. You get to see a lot of the old stuff. Which I think is quite important, even though I did say right at the start of this, I'm not a massive original series fan. I've never really got into it, never really been able to watch it much. But even without watching all those episodes, you're still tied to it. I mean, maybe from the movies, I love the movies, but you're still tied to it and you know about it, and it's quite good to see. I really like it. And then you see a little bit more of that in The Ultimate Klingon, The Doomsday Device, The City on the Edge of Never, all super strong. Past Imperfect, I'll get onto in a second, but I think all of these were super strong. Even though this was sort of a spin-off storyline and then it comes back to this, I still think it worked really well. I like it a lot. It's a shame, though, about the sort of 6 episodes in the middle there. Because even when you are playing through the second half of the Klingon War, it does sort of highlight the weaknesses of the first half, I think. So a slight downside is the first half, massive upside being the second half. And then Past Imperfect, which is quite an enjoyable episode to do, but I just want it to be a bit more epic, I think. Is that a stupid problem? I think it's a little bit of an anti-climax, because maybe I'm wrong to be expecting a climax to the Klingon War. Maybe I'm wrong that I think it should be quite an epic ending to it. And really it's just going to flow on to the next bunch of quests maybe, but I think I was expecting something bigger, and it was just a little bit anticlimactic, let's just say that. I wouldn't say weak storyline. It's still quite a cool story. And see, meeting Captain Bovat, so an earlier version of Ambassador Bovat, that was pretty cool. But the fight against Ambassador Bovat was a little bit too easy, and it was just that. It was literally just you're fighting against a single Klingon. And yeah, not really the ending that I was hoping for. Although you did get to see the Enterprise again, but that isn't as good as the Temporal Ambassador, where you get the whole Enterprise C storyline, which comes from a Next Generation episode, which obviously I'm more tied to. So I found that just incredible. So if you're going to class that as the ending to the Klingon War, which I don't see why you would, because it's not tied to the storyline in any way, but if you are, then the ending's brilliant. Otherwise, it's a tiny little bit weak, I think. But that is the story. Wow, I've rambled on for a lot about the story. They're my thoughts about the storyline anyway. I think generally, if you're starting a 23rd century character, the Agents of Yesterday is a great start. If you're just starting a normal Starfleet character, I think you just play a tutorial and then come straight into this. You won't mind the first few episodes until you get to the second half and realise how good it can be, probably. Yeah, so that's my thought on the storyline. Now, a couple more points that I do want to go through, though. The first one is the levelling. So I was thinking that I might stop doing duty officer things and sort of doing that as I play, because I was leveling up too quick. But then I thought that's just a normal playthrough. That's what normal players would do. They will go through the duty officer system and do it. So I should just do what everybody does, just get the proper feel for what everybody will get, if that makes sense. So artificially stopping my leveling wouldn't have been a good idea, because that's not the right experience that I'm trying to get. So I carried it on, and I've got to Captain 30 just by finishing the Klingon War. And I think, I mean, just by looking at the level requirements, obviously you can see. Why is it telling me to do secret orders again? Just by looking at the level requirements, you can see that by the end of this, you're supposed to be Lieutenant Commander 16. That's what that's set for. Commander 20 to start the yesterday's war. Wasteland starts at 21. I'm already 30. I'm already on to my next ship. And I thought, because I leveled up partway through the Klingon War into the next ship, the Commander level 20 ship, I thought from that point forward, the space combat was extremely easy. Extremely easy. Never really got my ship into hull, I don't think. I was pretty comfortably into shields, and I still had skills to use. It wasn't like I was spamming shield repair or powered shields or anything like that. And the damage that I was doing was far exceeding anything that the enemy required to kill them. So I think it's probably because they are all scaled to level, but the massive power spike of you getting a new ship with all the extra slots, they can't really cater for. Which makes sense, but I think you level up so quickly that you actually, this probably isn't right, but you leveled up so quickly that it becomes too easy. But I mean, thinking about it, once you play through a game, a full game sort of storyline, then maybe for your alts, for your new account, your new characters, you don't want it to be slow. You want to be able to level up much quicker. So I think you should be able to buy something on your max level characters and send it to your lower level characters or something like that that allows them to level up quicker. The leveling seems a little bit too fast right now. Captain 30 at the end of the Klingon War seems a bit too much. So, with that, I've only got one more point to make, and unfortunately it is a tiny bit of a negative point. Now, I want to stress and reiterate that I have enjoyed playing through this, and I will continue to enjoy it. I would recommend it to other Star Trek fans to play this game, and I have a greater than zero enjoyment of this game. Right? To do a full programmer speak, I have a positive enjoyment level. But I know that part of that is going to be my enjoyment of Star Trek in general, not just of this game. So you've got to take into account the bias that a Star Trek fan will have towards Star Trek Online just because it's Star Trek. Unfortunately, I think it's safe to say that Star Trek Online didn't succeed, or hasn't succeeded in the 8 years that it's been out, as an MMO. Is that safe to say? I'll be interested to see if people agree with that, actually. But I think it's safe to say that it hasn't succeeded just because it's got the name Star Trek I think it was expected to do much better than it actually did. And I would like to offer my explanation for why that didn't go so well. And I think it boils down to a very simple thing, and it's just the polish. Just the polish of the game, the tiny little details that aren't tiny at all, because you see it all the time. So let's talk about bugs first. I think it's fair to mention bugs, just because, like, I don't mind the odd bug, but throughout just the Klingon War, which is something like, I'm going to guess now, but 15 episodes, is it? Something like that. We had 4 game-stopping bugs. So either we had to relog or we had to leave a mission and go back into it because we couldn't progress in any way. So 4 times that happened. And I think you can see them all on video. I don't think I cut any of the bugs out. So 4 times in, I think it's 14 episodes maybe, something like that. I think that's a little bit too much, especially early on in the game, because new players come to the game, that's the first thing they're going to experience. They're going to see that and possibly be put off by it. Let's say bugs aren't a problem though. I think there might be a little bit of a problem, but let's say they're not. Just the polish of the game, some of the animations, some of the cutscenes, when you load into a map and it shows you standing there before your ship spawns in, you load into a space map and it shows your character stood there, and then or your ship in place, and then it beams in on top of itself, or warps in on top of itself, sorry. Like a few polished things, I can mention probably 100, but just a few things are like people laying down, or the amount of times that my character was stood on his chair instead of sat in it. Things like animations on your bridge officers, like polish, just generally polish. And I know it's generally something that's quite heavily discussed around Reddit and forums and stuff, but I think a lot of people would explain that away as being part of the engine and how the engine is out of date. But I don't think that giving a reason makes it okay. Like, that is the reason for it, fair enough, but it should be fixed and should be better, I would say. But as I would just like to iterate again, end it on the positive that I have had a great time playing this, and obviously will be continuing. I love it. I do love Star Trek Online. I love Star Trek in general, and will be continuing. The only other negative I want to mention is that I still can't get a melee weapon for my bridge officer. Have I just been ridiculously unlucky not being able to find one? I hope that's not the case. But I am going to do a bit of research into buying them after this, actually. Maybe there's a vendor somewhere that I just haven't seen. Before we do that, after reviewing the Klingon War, so that's the end of the review section, I'm now going to do some housekeeping stuff. So I'd like to go around and sell a bunch of stuff, because I've got tribbles apparently all over the place that I haven't sorted out. I want to sell most of this. Can I just use this? Does that give me... Oh, it does. Cool. I now have another ship. Brilliant. Let's go sell some stuff. Oh, I already have that. Brilliant. The one thing that I looted in the last mission. And I already have it. Exactly the same. Okay, so first off, I'm going to sell all that stuff. And then we're going to go to Admiral Quinn and get my new promotion done. And then we're going to go through a new ship, which is super exciting. Although I don't think I've really played much with this ship. Probably like 6 missions and it's already leveled up. Right, let's sell. Oh, no. Oh, where have all those come from? Right. Alright, I'll try not to be too long. Housekeeping is very important. I think we should definitely go through this before getting on with Wasteland. Well, not Wasteland, Yesterday's War. I wonder if yesterday... I might have to look into that as well, actually. Is Yesterday's War specifically for 23rd century characters? Or does everybody get a go? I think it might just be for 23rd century, which is quite cool. Are we getting to the good stuff yet? He's a blast. We must be nearly there. There we go. Okay, so everything else can stay. Okay. Beautiful. Good clear out. I need to do some tribble research. Someone remind me. Let's go talk to Admiral Quinn. I don't even know what the next ship is, actually. Is it the Galaxy class? Can I get that? Is that a captain? I hope so. I actually do want that. I might make it look a little bit different, but I do want it. Right, promotion captain.
Congratulations. You've proven yourself to be invaluable to Starfleet and earned the respect of your fellow officers. Return to Earth's space dock. I would like to formally recognize your contributions to the Federation.
I'm here. On screen. Right, congratulations, Pillar Meridian. You've proven yourself to be invaluable. You've just said all this. This mission provides access to a powerful free ship. Awesome. Thank you. Now I just go straight to the shipyard. I will be coming back here to do some bridge officer stuff. But let's go sort the ship out first. That's obviously the coolest part of getting a promotion. I wonder if I can just use the Enterprise C, actually. Do I want to do that? Probably not. No. I do love the Enterprise C, but let's go with something. Let's go with something different. Right. Just cruisers. We all know I'm a cruiser guy. And yeah, just captain. That's lovely. Yeah, it is. Cool. Galaxy. Okay, so I can't get any of these because they're obviously Zen. And we don't like Zen. So I can do Andromeda. That looks quite cool. That looks really quite cool. Oh, Chandra again. Thanks for the invite. Not quite now. Celestial is also really cool. And that's just Standard Galaxy. I'm actually thinking I might just go for a Standard Galaxy. But that is super cool. Alright, if anything was going to tempt me away, it was that. Let's take the Galaxy. And then I might do some customization. So this is an exploration cruiser. That's what it's classed as. Interesting. Hector. I like Hector. I like it a lot. I had Oberon for my last ship. And I've got Hector now. They sound quite cool. Iberia is obviously the sea. Yeah, let's go for that. Only got one extra weapon slot at the front. That's interesting. Not as strong as I thought it might be. Right, let's customize. Quite high up, isn't it? Can I bring it down a bit? Oh, in the center. Alright. So that is the Andromeda, which I don't think I can get, can I? No, that's Zen. Right, let's use the Galaxy as the template. Oh, shall I just stick with that? That looks really cool. I think I will just stick with that. Galaxy class ships are so cool. I'll change something that doesn't really matter too much. No, that matters a lot. Nacelles. Refit. I like that. No, nothing quite looks right with the Galaxy stuff. This is the neck. Wow, that looks horrible. I don't mind the Celestial actually, but no. This is going to be super boring, sorry guys. But this is, we're just going with the Galaxy. With the slightly refit nacelles. I'm not even going to do any patterns. I like just the standard. Like Next Generation was my favourite series of them all, I think, so. Yeah, we're going with just standard. Galaxy with the refit nacelles. I like it a lot. I will have to do probably a little bit of equipping for it though, won't I? Because I want to get, well, a beam on the front instead of the torpedo. I know I said torpedoes have been quite cool, but... hello? Like the torpedo on the Enterprise C in that last mission, for instance, was really cool, but I think I prefer just all beams. So I might as well use the Warp Core 6, yeah. Let's do that. And then I do need some new consoles as well, so 2, 4, 4. I've only got 1, 6. Yeah, they're old. I'm not really sort of buying or crafting anymore, so I kind of want to wait until I just get them from loot, from drops. Okay, so now I'm going to have a quick look at bridge officers, and I think... Oh, actually, I'll do some skills first, but let's just get down there. I think I am going to retrain some guys. I'm going to retrain some dudes. Alright, so my skills first. What have we got? 1 space and 1 ground. Awesome. And can these go into... They can. Okay, so... I think I do want to focus on engineering. I think. Yeah. Even though... Shields and auxiliary subsystem power. I like that. I like both those. Full penetration I'm not fussed about. Shield penetration maybe? Alright, let's go for... Yeah, we're getting both these anyway. Let's go for defensive to start with. Yeah, I'll put some more points into engineering, hoping to get up to... Yeah, maybe there. I mean, how many does that take? That's... What does it say how many points I need? Doesn't it? Alright, unlocks after 17, so is that 20? Oh, so I still need 7 odd, which I haven't even got enough for in Captain. Alright. I get Admiral at 35, do I? Oh. Alright, that'd be interesting. So that's the space stuff done. How about ground? I think I want to go for the weapon stuff, don't I? So, criticals? We'll just focus on that. Yeah. Oh, these all look good actually, don't they? Yeah, I'm going to go for the critical. Weapon criticals. And then... a fatal fear, so attacking with melee inflicts a debuff. I wish I can give that to my bridge officer. Attacking with melee grants you 20% run speed. This effect is refreshed by each subsequent attack. Okay, attacking with melee inflicts a debuff. Damage resistance rating on any foe hit by your melee attacks. So does my rifle butt count as a melee attack? I assume it does. Right? So if I use... So yeah, when I knock someone down, they get damage resistance rating minus. Refreshed by each subsequent. Yeah, I'll just do that. Yeah, that feels good. I could get a speed up because the main reason you use that is to knock someone down and then run away, I guess. But nope, that's fine. Okay, this is the big one. So I have Tarsi, who I really want to set up as a melee combat tactical officer, but obviously I can't yet, so that's fine. Oh, actually, I should check. Let's check what stations I have. Ooh, I can use 4. I've got Aston Beam 3. That's really cool. So I can use... Let's actually just quickly put Scaverin on here. Nope. That is not the way around we're going to do it. She's definitely better. I want to get rid of Eject Warp Plasma on her. And possibly get something different. I definitely want to get rid of one of Temet's tractor beams. Emergency power to weapons I really like on Scaverin. That's cool. Maybe want... Yeah, Eject Warp Plasma I'll get rid of. Aston Beam 3. 10 kilometer range, 40 recharge to target minus 75% energy damage for 10 seconds. Times 9.7 radiation damage for 1 second for 10 seconds. Ignore shields, project weapons on offline for 5 seconds. Okay, projectile weapons. Looks like mainly a debuff then rather than damage, but that's cool. I want to get rid of Eject Warp Plasma and get rid of Tractor Beam 1. Okay. How about ground stuff actually? I didn't think of that. So I like all of Scaverin's abilities and most of Tepen's abilities. Yep, that's all good. Medical tricorder and tricorder scan. Attacking on Hummer. I'm happy with all this. Yeah, I mean I'm obviously going to redo Tarsi as a melee when we get to that point. But I think I'm pretty happy with that. Set to default space abilities. Okay, so let's have a quick look then to see if I can change. Was it Tepen's Aceton Beam or Eject Warp Plasma? Sorry, that needs changing. What can I change that to? We can do. Not a huge amount. Directed energy modulation. That's what I wanted, wasn't it? Target self plus 7.5% energy weapon shield penetration. So I can use that at the same time as something like the beam overload or fire at will. That could be really good. Directed energy modulation 2. Maybe that's what I'll go for that. Directed energy modulation 2. Can you tell me that, please? That's an engineering base. Is that ground? No, that's space. Okay. Directed energy modulation. That's 1. I need 2, please. There it is. I can buy that. Lovely. Give me. Can I just? What? Alright, so I go to the character, don't I? Select their skill. That one. I want you to learn this. What's that doing? Requires Lieutenant Commander. I am. Why can I not use this? Training manual, engineering, directed energy modulation 2. Right. I want to teach that to Pen. To Pen? Or it requires her to be a Lieutenant Commander, maybe. Or do I need to promote her? Oh, okay. I don't mind promoting her, she's cool. Right? Then you can learn that. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. There you go. Alright. She has the skills that I wanted to have for now then. Tarsi will go through another time. I mean, she's got the beam stuff that I really wanted to have. So that's cool. To Met, however, these are not cool. So I would really like... Is it Tachyon Beam? Yeah, Tachyon Beam. I don't think I need Science Team. What does that even do? Shield generation applied once to each facing. Target's friend and self, so that gives you a bit of a... Hazard emitters. Gives you hit points over seconds. I mean, these are mainly heals for other people, it seems like. Polarized hull, nah. Now, I think I want Tachyon Beam. What does that say? Requires the appropriate training manual. Let's get Tachyon Beam 1. I like Tachyon Beams. Science Space. Tachyon Beam 1. Buy. These are super cheap. Like, organising your bridge officer skills and stuff seems a pretty cheap thing to do. Right, so that's you. You can learn and select. Beautiful. When I get a ship that can use some higher level science slots, then I can check out the rest of her abilities. But for now, this seems good, right? Emergency power to weapons can be used with these, as well as the directed energy modulation all at the same time. You shouldn't have directed warp plasma, and you shouldn't have that. Is that just not reloaded yet, maybe? Possibly. And everyone else I think I'm happy with. Yeah, let's try that out as a build for now then. I might need to go and buy these people some proper shields because they've all got Mark 4, except Tarsi who's got Mark 6. I think we can survive. I'll just hope to get some stuff from drops. So I think that means I'm ready to go. Let's beam up to our ship actually and just check out, not that one, just check out what the Galaxy class looks like in space. There we go. That looks lovely. Look at that. That's a great model. Iconic, some might say. Is it scarily slow to turn? It is, a little bit. I guess it's supposed to be though. It feels big, feels strong. I like it a lot. Cool. So that is the mini review of the Klingon War and some housekeeping and stuff getting set up for yesterday's war. There's a lot of wars. So next episode will be yesterday's wars. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm sorry it might have been a bit how should we say, rambly, maybe. Might have been a little bit so possibly negative. It might have come across a little bit negative. It honestly wasn't. I have really enjoyed. But I hope you've enjoyed too. I hope you will enjoy. Hope you are enjoying. But by far, the most important thing is to look forward to the next episode of Star Trek Online.